Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a deck profile for the new Gengar that was revealed today. I think this new Gengar is really cool. I'm definitely going to be playing it. I think it's a really cool budget deck too. So yeah, we're going to be doing a deck profile for this Gengar, which is based around damage counters, and it has a really cool ability that can help you set up your other stage 2s very consistently. So let's just get right into the list. I think we're actually going to start off with our main attacker, which is this Gengar here. And it has the ability Dying Gift. When it is knocked out by damage to an opponent's attack, you search your deck for 2 cards and put them in your hand. So right off the bat, the ability alone can help you set up your other Gengar. We're not even getting to the attack yet. The attack for 3 colors energy, Pain Burst, 10 damage, and it does 40 more damage for each damage counter it points out a Pokemon. Which means if they have 1 damage counter on it, you're doing 50. If they have 2 damage counters on it, you're doing 90, and so on and so on. Which means if your opponent's active has enough damage counters, Pain Burst can actually take 1-hit knockouts on a Pokemon at VMAX and a Pokemon Tag Team GX. So that is what we're basing it around. So we're just going to get right into the list here. Starting it off, we have got 4 copies of Ghastly. And this Ghastly is actually we're taking a look at too, and it's actually a main part of the deck. Because it has a really cool ability too, called Swelling Spikes. When this Ghastly is knocked out, you get to search your deck for 2 Haunters and put them onto your bench. So this Ghastly's ability is what you're going to be using to help set up your Gengars. So the Gengar's ability combined with this Ghastly's ability is going to really help you streamline and get your Pokemon and your Stage 2 set up turn after turn so you can stream those Stage 2s. So we have 4 copies of the Ghastly and 3 copies of the Haunter. And this is usually in Stage 2 decks. Usually the Stage 2s, we're playing a 4-1-4 line of the Stage 2. And this one we're actually playing a 4-3-3, and I'll get there in a minute. We're not actually playing a 4-3-3. We're technically playing a 4-3-3 of this Gengar. But this Haunter, of course, you can get it immediately out with Ghastly's Swelling Spike ability, but it also has a decent attack too. For 1 Psychic Energy, Sinister Fog, you put 1 damage counter on all your opponent's bench Pokemon, and your opponent's side of Pokemon with poison. So, you don't actually play Psychic Energies, but if you want to play Psychic Energies, so you can use the Sinister Fog, it can help with your Gengar's attack. And speaking of the Gengar, we have 3 copies of the Gengar. And the reason we're playing 3 copies over 4 copies is because we play 1 of a different Gengar. We play 1 of this Gengar from Unbroken Bonds, which also has a really cool ability, Shadow Pain. When you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, so you can get out 2 Hunters with Swelling Spike, and you can evolve one of them to this Gengar, and then evolve the other one into this Gengar. Then you get to put 6 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon at GX or Pokemon EX. So what this can do is when your Ghastly is knocked out, you can search your deck for 2 Hunters. And then next turn, all you need is this Gengar and this Gengar plus a triple Acceleration Energy to take a knockout on a tag team. And that's what this guy is here for. He is here to help take knockouts on tag teams. But not only that, he also has a pretty decent attack, Twilight Poison, for 3 colors energy. So once again, a triple Acceleration Energy, which is mainly what a lot of our Pokemon are based around. It does 70 damage, and our opponent's side of Pokemon is now poisoned and asleep. So sleep and poison. So this can help you get back in tempo with the game if maybe you need to get some turn attachments. But also that Twilight Poison is just a nice way to get some decent damage counters on without having to use ability, and you can use it for a triple Acceleration Energy. So this 1 copy of Unbroken Bonds Gengar is also not a bad inclusion either. Moving into our other Pokemon, we have 2 copies of Galarian Obstagoon, 1 copy of Galarian Linoon, and 2 copies of Galarian Zigzagoon. I know, 2 Stage 2s. You never thought I'd see the day. And these because this line has a pair of abilities that lets you place damage counters. Galarian Zigzagoon has an ability that when you put it from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you get to put a damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. You've been seeing a ton of play ever since it was released because it's such a good damage modifier. So we also have the 2 copies of Galarian Obstagoon, which has a similar ability, Untamed Shout. When you play it from your hand to one of your Pokemon, you could put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's like a mini Gengar, except it's not limited to GX and EX. And this is what's going to help you take more consistent knockouts on VMAXs. And you don't have to rely on that Gengar to only take them on GXs. It can help you take knockouts on VMAXs. But also has a decent attack, too. Obstruct. For a Darkness Underclass, you do 90 damage. And during your opponent's next turn, you prevent all damage done to this Pokemon during your next turn by your opponent's next turn by your opponent's basic Pokemon. And this means that you have a decent out against ADP. This is the thing that I love about this deck. Both the attack and the ability synergize very well. The attack pretty much helps you win ADP, and since we're playing those Gengars, then that can give us an easier way to get out those Obstagoons. We're also playing Rosas, so not going to be a big deal. But the ability pairs with the Gengar, and in the right matchup, Obstruct is a nice thing as well. We have a couple of multi-pack Pokemon. We have 1 copy of the Den GX and 1 copy of Zacian V. And the 1 copy of Zacian V is just because usually we're going to be probably sitting in the active for at least 2 turns with our Ghastly. And sometimes our hand is just absolutely garbo. So we're going to want to have access to that Intrepid Sword, so we can maybe keep Rare Candies we have in our hand, so we can keep Gengar we have in our hand. We don't have to discard them with our Dedenne. Moving into our supporters, we have 4 copies of Rosa. So this, of course, is very, very good paired with Gengar. Because the Gengar, when it gets knocked out, you can search your deck for 2 cards. You can search your deck for Rosa and Triple Acceleration Energy, or you can search your deck for Rosa and Rare Candy. So basically, this whole deck is based around being able to string your stage 2s with that ability and the Rosa. Rosa is already very good in Standard because it helps you string stage 2s. With that paired with the Gengar and just being able to search your deck for 1 other card and not having it marred away because you're going into your turn, Rosa, and with that ability, is going to be very powerful. Rosa also doesn't search special energy, and sometimes you can use that open spot on Gengar to search deck for card for that triple storage energy. We just have 2 other supporters. We have 1 copy of Boss's Orders and 1 copy of Bead. The 1 copy of Boss's Orders is, we only have 1 because we're also playing Palpad, and because it's searchable, at almost any point in the game we're going to want it with Rosa and Gengar. That we're only going to really need 1. We also play a Palpad. The same reason why we can only play, why we only want to play 1 Bead is it can help you use that Obstruct out of nowhere, and it can help you attack with a Gengar if you are out of triple acceleration energies, because we only have 4 of them. So Boss's Orders and Bead are our other supporters. Moving right into our item cards, of course, we have 4 Quick Ball. This should probably be of no surprise. And then we also have 4 Switch, because we're going to want to be able to get our Ghastly into the active as much as possible. We want to be able to move him into the active on our first turn, preferably. If we can't do that on our first turn, maybe with a Rosa. And also, if we can't do it with a Rosa, then we can probably maybe just manually evolve, or we hit the Rare Candy. It usually all works out. But we have 4 Switch here to help us switch into our Ghastly. Now, we only have 3 Rare Candy. Now, this might seem kind of weird to a deck that plays 2 different stage 2s. And this is because usually we're only going to need 1 or 2 of them for a Gengar, just because we trade so well, and 1 or 2 of them at maximum for an Obstagoon. We do play 1 copy of Galarian Lightning, which means you don't always need a Rare Candy to get that Galarian Obstagoon out and rolling and using Untamed Shout. But 3 Rare Candy is all we're going to need, just because we can search them out easily with Gengar and Rosa. And with that Swelling Spite ability, we're not going to need them too often for our Gengars. Maybe only a couple in the late game. Moving on, we have 3 copies of Scoop Up Nets. This is so we can reuse our Galarian Zigzagoons, and we can reuse our Untamed Shouts with those Rare Candies and with that 1 copy of Galarian Lightning. Now we have 3 copies of Rocky Helmet, and this is something that you can attach to your Ghastly to help get some early damage in there. If you can't get this Rocky Helmet attached to your Ghastly, usually what you can do is you can attach it to maybe your Gengar, and then use it to attack you 10 damage, and it takes 30. And then usually you can get your Obstagoons rolling and things like that. So you can get your second Gengar and take a knockout. And so if you want to add a fourth Rocky Helmet, I wouldn't mind that either. We only have 3 here because once again they're searchable with Rosa, but we also only have we have 3, which is kind of 5 because we want to get to see them in the late game for our Ghastly. We also have 2 copies of Pokemon Communication. Now we do play, I believe, 20 Pokemon, and usually we're going to want to have access to all of them. Ghastly, we want to help stream our Gengars. Haunter, we want to. Haunter is actually one exception. Haunter, we want to sometimes have in our deck so we can search it out with one spite. So Pokemon Communication could use to put our Haunters into the deck. But generally, it's just for those niche situations where you don't have an Evolution Incense or a Rosa or something like that, or you don't want to use your trainer space on Rosa for an evolution, or your Pokemon space on Rosa for a Pokemon you want, maybe you just want to communicate it away. And similarly to how we have Communication, we also have 2 copies of Evolution Incense. Just because we play a lot of evolutions, we are an evolution deck, so we're going to find Evolution Incense. Next, we have 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, and our Ghastly is usually one of our Ghastly is going to be knocked out a game, almost guaranteed, which means that Ordinary Rod's not only going to help us put our Gengars back in if we do have to use that 5th or 6th Gengar, but it's also going to help us get our Ghastlys back in our deck, so that Swelling Spike doesn't really matter. All it really matters is the prize card our opponent's in. We have 1 copy of Palpad, as I mentioned, so we can reuse our supporters, mainly our Roses and Bosses orders, but it can be used for our deed as well. And 1 copy of Air Balloon to help us get our Ghastlys in the active. In terms of our energy counts, we, of course, have 4 copies of Triple Acceleration Energy. Of course, this is going to be the main way that we're going to be attacking, because both of our attackers, our Gengars, attack for Triple Acceleration, which is going to be really, really handy since it's a single card that can be searched out with Gengar. We play another special energy. We play 3 copies of Horror Psychic Energy. This is another thing that if you can get attached to your Ghastly, along maybe with a Rocky Helmet turn 1, then that's 4 damage bands they're taking. You're setting up for a big 250 damage pain burst with your Gengar following the knockout of your Ghastly. So also, since our attachment is only 1, you can afford that. You can afford to attach that to our Ghastly. You can afford that. You can afford to attach it basically anywhere to like Retreat or something like that. And here, let me see if I can fit these in. We have a couple more energies. We have 2 copies of Twin Energy. I'm going to be able to fit all this. We have 2 copies of Twin Energy in the list, and 2 copies of Basic Darkness Energy in the list as well. So those Twin and Darks is going to be what helps us use our attacks for out of Triple Acceleration Energy. Say we've used our Triple Acceleration Energy, our Gengar that has one of our Triple Acceleration Energies on it gets knocked out. Oh, we're out. Well, when that guy gets knocked out, we can search your deck for Bead Darkness Energy, or Bead Twin Energy, or something along those lines to help you just keep going even if you're out of Triple Acceleration Energies. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. This is actually a double upload. I already did my how to make English translated proxies video today, or actually translated that Gengar specifically for this video. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I absolutely love this deck. I love this Gengar. I don't know if it's good post-rotation because we lose access to Triple Acceleration Energy, which is going to make it very, very difficult to attack with Gengar very consistently, but at least before rotation, I think this guy with Triple Acceleration Energies, Rosa, Obstagoon is a very decent budget Stage 2 deck. I think this deck definitely has some potential and can do well, but it can most definitely win games at the very least. yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. And if you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe because I do a whole bunch of Pokemon trading card game deck profiles and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.